Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we are going to be doing quite an important job. I've developed a little bit of an oil leak on the GTR. It's an old car, so you know, these things happen, but I already know what the issue is. I will take you along the journey of fixing it, I guess. Hopefully, fingers crossed, although I might jinx it now, hopefully should be a relatively straightforward fix. It's a fairly common occurrence, so it's nothing like super crazy. But yeah, anyway, let's have a look. But before we get into that, for those of you who are very eagle-eyed, you might notice something new about the GTR. I purposely have chosen this framing to give you a little hint. I will show you. You will need to forget about the rag on the floor there. You will need to forgive the dirtiness of the car. We've just had some really good weather this week. For the last well, not today actually, today's raining, but the last week has been amazing weather. So I've been driving the GTR and I haven't cleaned it. So it's pretty dirty. But for those who haven't worked it out yet, the R33 GTR, like most other GTRs, comes as standard with Brembo brakes. The OEM Brembo brakes are 4-pot on the front and 2 pots on the rear. Now, if you look closely, you may be able to figure out these brakes are considerably bigger than what was on there in previous videos. Now, I did allude to it when fitting the LMDT4 wheels because I had already booked this and I was waiting for the parts to be made. But these are R35 GTR Brembo brakes. So that means they are 6 pots on the front and 4 pots on the rear. They are considerably bigger. The rotors are obviously bigger and 2-piece, and the obviously calipers huge in comparison. It actually fills the wheel now. There's not much space. I believe these wheels, the 18-inch wheels, are the smallest wheels you can fit now with these brakes, and yeah, you can see why. So they're the fronts and the rear. There. So these are a genuine Nismo upgrade. So I actually got the Toyama Nismo Performance Center to fit them for me, just because although I think I could fit them without an issue, I think if I had an issue, then I've got no way to move the car. It's kind of stuck here. I'd have to get some kind of recovery service to get it out there. I know it should be relatively simple, but this was quite a big upgrade for me and I wanted it done right. So I left it in the hands of the Toyama Nismo Performance Center, and they did an excellent job. They had it turned around real quickly, and I'm super happy and grateful for their service and help on this. But yeah, these brakes look absolutely amazing. I've wanted them for a while. I keep seeing them. So as I said, this is an actual Nismo upgrade. Nismo themselves have actually designed and made the kit so that you can kind of upgrade the brakes on the 32, 33 and 34 to the R35 Brembos, basically. I've been wanting them for a while. One of my friends here, he has a 32 with these 35 brakes on, and they look amazing. And every time I parked next to him, my brakes looked tiny. So I wanted them for the performance, but also they look cool. And you can't disagree. They look cool, especially with those white LMGTs. I'm really pleased with them. I would say, I think the performance is obviously better. I haven't done any like track use with them, so I can't honestly give them like a track rating, but certainly the initial bite is now massively different compared to the old Brembos. That could just be because they're new pads and discs that have been bedded in, and the old ones had a few track days on them and they were getting a bit old. But yeah, the bite on these is really good. I'm pretty sure on track these would be phenomenal. Obviously, hopefully getting less brake fade. With the bigger brakes, you should be hopefully stopping easier. So yeah, anyway, enough about the brakes. Let's move on to today's job. So before we start, let's just have another quick look. Ignore the dust, brake dust. That's the only thing with brakes and white wheels. It's just crazy. The dust, I'm glad the coating on the wheels is holding up pretty well. You just kind of wipe it and the dust falls away. I don't even need to use water, but it does sit there until you wipe it. So, I mean, the car's meant to be driven, so I just have to get over it. But yeah, really pleased with how the brakes look, and they obviously fill the wheels quite well. I think probably this will be the last exterior upgrade that I do to the car, because I'm pretty happy with the styling of the car as it is. Never say never, but yeah, at the moment I'm really happy with how the car looks. It looks, you know, nice and clean at the moment. Not actually clean, but I mean the lines and the styling and the side skirts and, you know, rear bumper and things like that. I really like the styling. So yep, that's it for now for the exterior. I don't foresee at the moment any more upgrades, but who knows, that might change. One nice thing, I would really like the 400R rear wing. That would be a nice upgrade, but I'm not sure I want a black carbon fiber rear wing. I think if I got one, I would maybe have to change it or paint it white to match the car. I'm not sure the black, one black piece would match, but who knows, we'll see. Anyway, let's get to what we are supposed to be doing today, which is rocker cover gaskets. So at the rear of the engine, they have these half moon seals on each of the cam covers. They sit kind of that way with the rounded bit at the bottom. These are quite notorious for leaking. So I've got two new ones of those. I've also got a gasket for each side of the cam covers, a right and a left. And finally, I've got the rubber washer that you use to kind of hold down the cam covers in place. A few of mine have kind of got a bit old and crusty, so I thought, why not get some new ones on there as well. So we're gonna give it a little bit of loving, a little bit of an overhaul today. So let's take a look at what we've got. So here is the heart of the beast. And today the part we're looking at is way back here. Let me get my torch. See if I can get a good view on here for you. So yeah, where you see the red there at the back of the engine meets kind of like the aluminium block. So yeah, at the back there's a half moon seal, and that's leaking and it's kind of flowing all the way down the back of the engine. You can see there's quite a bit of oil residue there, so that's what our job is today. So I've got my trusty lights on. I think I had a quick look at the maintenance manual. It looks like to get these rocker covers off, we need to remove the intake duct. We need to remove this twin turbo pipe for the intercooler piping, or I think actually that comes from the airbox. Oh no, it doesn't. No, I think that goes to the intercooler. So yeah, to the intercooler, I think we also need to remove this rubber hose. Of course, we need to remove this titanium strut brace. Yeah, obviously this pipe, those two pipes off the side of the cams. Then we need to remove the center decoration piece. And then it should just be a case of unbolting. Now I look at it, I think I might have to remove this, which goes to the injectors, just so I can get down into there to get those bolts off. So yeah, let's take a look at what we've got. First of all, I think I'm going to remove the strut brace, get that out the way. It gives us a lot more room to look at what we're dealing with here. So let's get these undone. Off comes the strut brace. Where am I going with this? Over here. Okay, so next we have the intake duct. Just pop these out. Just a little wiggle and he's out. Next is going to be, I'm going to slacken off these rubber pipes. There's one, two, and of course we actually need to take this one off as well, don't we? Okay, he's off. Perfect. Ow. So we've got the pipes off. The next thing to do, I think, is remove this intercooler piping. So this is the side that I'm at. So I've undone this Jubilee clip here and this one, but to get this twin turbo section out, I need to undo, I think, these two bolts or nuts here, because because I think that's going to keep it from coming out, basically. So yeah, I've undone this for the airbox. So yeah, let's get those 2 nuts down there undone. So I've got an extension on here just to crack it, because that's going to be on the turbo. So that's going to have been through a few heat cycles, but actually that just came on pretty good. Okay, that was easy. Oh, there we go. Just a bit of persuasion needed. Okay, I think it's just going to be a case of taking this off now. Take this off. Like I said, I think I'm going to have to take this injector harness off, but let's get this side off first. Come on. Now this is a cool little piece. I don't know if you've seen or I've advertised before, but because I've got the R35 coil packs in there, it does away with the igniter. I just got this to cover up the igniter's place. It's not an official piece. I can't remember. I think I got it from Australia or New Zealand. I think Australia, but it's just kind of a nice finishing piece to put in there rather than just having an empty spot at the back there. Now remember, this was quite fiddly back in the UK to get this in. So let's see, that's not too bad. There we go. So this is what we're looking at now. Obviously the 2 cam covers. I don't think I need to take anything else off other than obviously that injector harness, but it should just be a case of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and I think there's 1, 2, is that 1? Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, and that whole thing should come off. So let's get that done. So we've got all of this side undone, so let's see how easy this comes off. Pretty easy. Slide it back slightly, and that's it, we're out. So I'm just going to have a quick look over while we're in here, see if I can see anything interesting. Not really, but it does look like both half moons were leaking for sure. So here's what we're looking at. There is the half moon seal. You can just see it does have a little bit of sealant on there, but obviously not enough. This one doesn't look too bad. I don't think this side's been leaking so much. There was a little bit of residue which I've cleaned up, but the other side definitely was leaking. You could see for sure. So yeah, I've cleaned this up a little bit. So let's get that half moon out, and then we can get it all put back together. So I think one thing we do need to do is just make sure it's clear of any old sealant. It looks, in fairness, it looks pretty clean, but I will just get a scraper on there, I think, and just make sure it is definitely nice and clean. I don't know how easy this half moon will come out. Oh, pretty easy. Yeah, so there's the half moon. I can already tell that this is really hard, which means that the rubber has seen better days. Yeah, there's a little bit of sealant there, previous sealant. So I just need to get that cleaned out. So I've cleaned up the surfaces now. It's just a case of refitting it. I need sealant, so I've got this. The problem with moving to Japan, I say recently in the last year, I don't really know what the good brands are for, you know, simple things like sealant. You know, I've got Holtz. I know Holtz obviously from the UK, and I know it's going to be good for what I want, but it was a little bit expensive. I'm sure there is a brand from Japan that is equally as good and cheaper. I just don't know what that brand is, and it's quite difficult. I find it difficult to search. But anyway, I've got this. This will be fine for what I want to do. So let's get to it. So we need to fit the new seal in this. While we're actually here, I'm going to break off these old, some of these washers have seen better days. So they've definitely seen better days than ones. So let's get them off while we've got it here. One thing I do need here is an overhead light. So it is just a little bit dark in this corner. There we go. So, get the seal out. So that should hopefully be relatively straightforward. So it's just pulling it out. Yep. Boom. There's the old one. Throw him away. We have the new one. Just need to check that there's no material stuck in there, which there doesn't seem to be. So these seals do appear to be handed. So they obviously go one way because this end has kind of like a raised section that goes over the cam gears. This back end, I don't know how well you can see this, but it has a flat section on the top here. Now this flat section is what mates to that half moon shape. So it's going to be a bit wiggly. So that's what determines the hand really, is this flat spot that mates to the half moon. And then obviously also these top ones have a scallop out to go around the bolts, whereas these ones kind of only have a slight scallop out to go around. Just need to firmly press the seal into the root, into the channel, so it sits level all the way around. But yeah, you can definitely tell this new seal is a lot more pliable than the one that I've just taken out. The one I've just taken out was very hard. So hopefully this should definitely give you a better seal. That's that gasket in. Let's get it back in the car. We've cleaned up the surfaces, we've got the gasket in. First we need to fit the half moon seal at the back. Now in the manual it does say to apply a little bit of sealant to this. So if I can get it out of the bag, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. There's the half moon seal. So it sits this way with the flat on the top, and that's what this other seal we've just fitted will mate to on here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of sealant around the bottom here. It does look like maybe a little bit along the top. So this being the lowest point is obviously the part that's most likely to start leaking. So I don't want too much. Just going to put a very small film. I realise you can't see that now. Yeah, so just a small amount all the way around. You don't need a lot because once you put compression on that, it's going to spread out quite a lot. So again, just a little bit along the top here as well. You don't want too much. We also don't want too much because that will end up going into the cam area, and we definitely don't want that to happen. So let's get this half moon put in. Okay, he looks like he's in. That's good. Now I'm going to put a little bit of sealant around the top here, which is also what it says to do. Just because these are the two main problem areas. And actually I might put that sealant onto the actual seal itself rather than onto the engine parts. So just going to put a little bit of sealant. Oh. A little bit of sealant in here. Okay, so I've got some sealant applied on the front edge here. So let's get this shimmied back in. I think that's it. Let's get these bolts back in. And of course, with the new bolts, we have these new washers, which are not split or squished. So getting these bolts back in is rather challenging. Luckily, my fingers are just long enough. Okay, so reading the manual, it looks like you start from the center and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you just work out from the center outwards. So we'll do it progressively. So they don't need to be crazy tight. So there we are, that's one side done. Yeah, exhaust side done, it's just the intake to do now. My phone battery is getting low, so I'm probably gonna skip ahead and maybe just give you small updates incrementally. But yeah, that's one side done, all torqued up now. Hopefully no more leaking from this, but let's get to the other side. The other side is the problem side, I believe. So yeah, let's crack on. Progressing on getting this side off. I've loosened this injector harness section off, but these are an absolute monster of a pain to get out. I'm employing the help of one of these grabbing tools, which is making it much easier to get out, but I'm worried about when I have to refit it. It's gonna be an absolute pig, I think. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna crack on. Okay, so we've got the rocker cover out now on the intake side. Everything looks good. You can see the thin layer of sealant there that is just kind of been broken down. The actual black seal is lower than the actual lip, so I'm pretty sure it's not been sealing properly. And you can see all the scummy stuff at the back where the oil's been coming out. So let's get that replaced. Okay, finally. It was a bit tedious, but I've got the cover back in now. It's just a case of reconnecting everything. I did have to loosen a couple of the coil pack plugs just because they kind of fouled the cover as it came off. So yeah, just need to refit all of that, put everything back together, and it should be good to go. Everything is back together. Yeah, it was a bit tricky, especially the bolts down this side here. That was really quite difficult to get in. But yeah, other than that, it's all back together. So hopefully that's cured my oil leak. That's it for today. So yeah, we've done the not rocker cover. I guess they're cam covers, not rocker covers. That's kind of a bit old school. But the cam covers, seals have been done. Hopefully that's going to stop the oil leak now. If not, then I guess maybe a little bit more sealant, but I'm always dubious of putting too much sealant on because like I said, once you compress the seal, it really does spread out like a film. So if you put too much on, it's going to kind of go into the cam area, and we definitely don't want that floating around in there. The other update is of course the Brembos, you can see there, which look amazing. Another small update, I don't know if I've said yet, but I've not got AC in here. So yeah, keeps it cool in the summer and of course heating in the winter. So this workshop, this garage can be used literally all year now without worrying. We do get quite a lot of snow here in the winter, so having some heat in here will be really nice. And the summer, the temperature, it does get hot here, but the thing that really kills me here in Japan is the humidity. It really does get humid, so having the AC is going to be a big help. But yeah, other than that, I hope you've all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below if you like this kind of thing, or if you have any questions or want to see anything. Again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'll get another picture. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, anyway, I'll see you next time, guys. Catch you later. Bye. Watching, and I'll see you next time. I'll get another picture. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, anyway, I'll see you next time, guys. Catch you later. Bye.